Hey, Sebastian. Good morning. That looks awesome. Good spot.
I'm promoting the lighting. I'm just making sure that my face could be seen. I got other spots, but I'm gonna have to do some rearranging here.
I think that spot's better than your first spot.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this one is actually set up for it. That's why I got my lighting and my camera. But the thing I didn't think about, and it's so funny, I hadn't even talked to Terry. What I did, my kids just left for school for college.
Uh-huh.
So I have an empty house, and I normally move into one of their rooms. Well, they got a little in their feelings, you know. They were like, "Well, Dad, when we come home and you do that to visit, it doesn't feel like home." And I was like, "Oh my God!" And so I got like this huge master bedroom where I took all my lounge furniture out and I put my office in here. But all I got is my TV and my treasures background. So
Hey,
I was
that's
like,
all right.
yeah. So we got to rethink this whole layout. So we'll figure it out.
Well, looks good. I'm gonna mute myself out, but you're everything looks great.
All right, thank you.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey,
Good morning.
Megan.
Hey.
All right, guys, we're going to get started in about 60 seconds. Get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a fun one. Shoot out a text. See if we can get one more on. Una más. That's about all the Spanish I know. Olga, help me out. All right, it is officially time to get started.
Yeah,
Ding,
it
ding,
is.
ding, ding, ding. That's right. So, good morning, Alliance family. Woo!
Good morning, everybody.
Hope you guys have had a great week. It gives me a great honor to host this call. First and foremost, thank you, Andy and Jane Albright, for your vision for where we are today. But more importantly, the vision of what the next 20, 30, 50 years is going to look like, baby.
Yes.
Thank you for the vision of legacy and helping change lives. So we're really, really excited about that. And I am so excited. So let's go ahead and get started. My name is Terry, and this is my wife, Tia.
Hey, y'all.
And we are here in Kernersville, North Carolina, a little small town right outside of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So we have been a part of the Alliance now 5 years. It does not seem that long, but we have been having a blast. So today is the activity call, baby. This is one of my highlights of the week, baby. What we do on Friday mornings, we celebrate the people who have went out and slayed giants.
Yeah.
You know, now when we start calling these people names, okay, so if you're brand new and you like, ooh, Dr. Phil Hebert is perfect. You know, when Mia talk, oh my gosh, look at her hair. She's so gorgeous. You know, like it's going to be like, you're going to be thinking like these people, and you listen to me and Tia, it looked like we're perfect. But one thing, let me tell you up front, none of the people that went out and did this week were perfect.
Nope.
I'm going to tell you that right now. Everybody got stuff going on. My friend Andy Albright used to tell it like this right here. He used to say, everybody's either on their way into a storm, they in the middle of a storm, or either they coming out of a storm. But what we tend to do as people is we judge our locker room experience against other people's highlight reel. Now keep in mind, we are going to be going through some highlight reels, but just be sure that you know that these people had some locker room experiences this week, but they still did. The question is, what's bigger, your do or your circumstance? If your circumstance is this big and your do is this big, it ain't gonna be good. But if your circumstance is like this and your do is like this, the do will overcome and overpower any situation. That's right. So I'm getting already fired up. We are hired by Jason Noah Mathis, part of the Riddle Nation, baby.
Woo, that's right.
All right, so let's talk about it. Hey, Tia, you want to pull up the leaderboards? We're going to start with the top production issue paid. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this ain't submit. This is issue paid. That means it's done been submitted. It's done been sent to the carrier. And it's done got issued. And a direct deposit done been released through our arc, baby. And it's a flood coming, so you better build a big arc. The Agent Resource Center, where we get our commissions, you want a big arc because a flood is coming, baby. So let's talk about top producers this week. My man, Dr. Phil Hebert, down in Texas, kicking butt, taking names. You heard him yesterday on the product call. You heard him last week on the product call, baby. He is killing it. 4 applications for $32,380.
Then number 2, Tim Tipton with 18,001 app.
That's right. Tim Tipton be just like, look, I ain't gonna be doing all this little running around here. Go on and give me the big checks, baby. Number 3 this week is Mr. Adam Johnson, my buddy Adam and Teresia out in Minnesota. That's right. 21 applications. Good God Almighty. 21 applications for $14,561.
Number 4 is Carlene Preston with 9 apps for $14,559.
All right, here go my girl, number 5, Miss
She go.
Megan Wood. That's right. Good for you, Megan Wood. 19 applications for $13,655. Megan, you done inspired me so much. I done recruited me an agent named Megan. Her name is Megan Hayes, though. I'm hoping she can write business like Megan Wood.
She is.
That's right.
She coming for you, Megan Wood.
That's right.
Number 6 is Evan Patzer with 5 apps for $13,995.
All right, coming in at number 7, Eric and Bobby Belair down in Melbourne, Florida, where they aim high to enjoy Andy's pie. Come on here now. 7 applications for $12,517.
Woo. Number 8 is Randy Berry with 1 app for $12,500.
Coming in at number 9, Rachel and Marvin, the Prophet Osuna. That's right, part of the Carry Nation. 9 applications for $11,386. People are smoking, baby.
Yeah. Number 10 is Ladar Cook. I apologize if I say your name wrong. 11 apps for $10,912.
That's right. Coming in at number 11.
That's us.
Who me? Oh,
We gonna get that number 1.
I mean that.
I mean that.
Get your mind right.
Get it right, Terry.
Terry and Tia Edwards, 7 apps for $10,858 issue paid, baby.
Mhm. Number 12 is Jonathan and Megan Yaki with 16 apps for $10,600.
All right, coming in at number 13. I know how to pronounce this one.
All right.
I used to say Marty Doggett,
Okay.
but Marty and Diana Doge. That's right. 11 applications, smoking $10,390.
Number 14 is Mark Hutchison with 8 apps for $10,181.
All right, and number 15 for the week. Good gracious, we had over 15 people issue pay 10 grand this week, baby. Mr. Chris Manifold, he is kicking butt, taking names, being trained by Megan Wood. 14 applications for $10,159, baby. Hey, listen, this is the thing. Agency managers all across the United States of the Alliance, make sure that we have our own individual leaderboards, because just in case our people don't make the top 15, everybody deserves to be celebrated. So make sure you're celebrating your people, letting them know that you appreciate their work, their effort, their energy. That they matter. They matter. All right, annuity sales issue paid for the week. Look, check this out.
Here we go again.
The same one that was number 1 on life business is the same one that's number 1 on annuity issue paid. Dr. Phil Aber done pop him in one for $300,000.
Yeah, number 2 is Randy Berry with 125,000.
All right, Evan Passer, he just ain't selling life. He got him a Swiss Army knife. He do all of it. Evan Passer, 1 annuity for $70,835.
Yep, Mike Morat with 1 for $62,423.
That's right. Coming in at number 5, my buddy Brian and Crystalline Rojas. Crystalline done open up a can.
She done open up a can.
On Brian, I mean that. $37,144.
All right, then we have Marvin and Rachel Osuna with 2. Okay, $32,536.
All right, coming in at number 7, Kelly Vincino. I think. Okay. Sorry. 1 app for $31,000. Blanking on public school. I'm from North Carolina.
All right, then we have Beth Ireland. Woo!
That's
yeah,
right.
Beth. 1 annuity for $30,664.
That's right. Coming in at number 9, Miss Lori Reed up in Virginia Beach.
That's right.
$30,000 issue paid annuity.
Yeah, then we have Mike Hartlett with 1 for $12,000.
That's right. And rounding out the top 11 here on annuity issue paid, Miss Stephanie Rodriguez. Yeah. She is kicking butt, taking names. I'm pop her in 1 for $10,000. All right, now we're gonna look at recruits. We're gonna go on down to recruits for the week. Oh boy, he was texting last night talking trash.
He was trying.
Yeah, he was talking.
Just call his name last. Don't do his name right now.
Well, I'm gonna do it because he's number 1, and that's my coach right there. Number 1 recruiter this week, Mr. Andy Riddle. done put in 10 this week.
Yeah, he
See,
did.
Tia, you been poking the giant and the giant done woke up. Oh, you gotta leave
ain't
them
never gonna
hornets
sleep.
nest alone.
And then we have ABTF Blue with 5 recruits.
That's right. And then number 3, Paul, but this is his daughter, putting them in, baby. What's it? Tori. That's right. 5 recruits direct this week, baby.
Then we have John Thorman with 4.
Joseph 2 with 4.
ABTF Ray. All right, ABTF Ray 3.
All right. Fitzgerald 3.
All right, here's all the 3, y'all. Is Michael and Angie Owens, Stephen and Holly Davis.
That's right.
Terry and Tia. We coming. And the riddle.
We just ain't.
That number 1.
Hey, at the line,
coming.
At the lines, we do one thing. We sell and recruit, baby.
Yeah. Then we have Alex Avian, and then we have Brandon and Ashley Bill.
That's right. All the way on the West Coast, baby. So we have people. This is the thing right here. If you are, if you are tuned in or you watching the replay, and you are wondering, can it be done? You got proof that it's already done.
Yep.
It's been done. And if cray-crays like us, just jacked up people that just get up every day and try, can do it, we highly recommend that you do the same thing. Try to do it, okay? So we are so excited to share with you guys on today. We're gonna be talking about investing like your life depends on it, building relationships like your life depends on it, and having confidence like your life depends on it. Because this is what I know, Tia.
Yeah.
This is what I know right here. The world wants us to be casual. Wants you and I, your friends, just average people, your co-workers, a lot of the people you go to church with, they don't want you to get fired up and passionate about nothing. They get all in a tizzy, clutch their pearls and stuff when you get excited.
Yeah.
They say stuff like, it don't take all of that. Well, if you know the hell that I got to go through, the battles that I got to win between the 6 inches between my head, you would know why I got to be so excited. Because I got to be so excited because the moment that my eyes wake up, something is trying to come against what I want to do.
That's right.
Some people call it the devil. Some people call it the adversary. Some people call it life. But there are dream stealers, dream killers. There are vampires out there looking to destroy and get you off track.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of passion. It takes a lot of confidence to overcome those things to get to where we want to be. So a lot of times people be like, you know, just calm down. This is what some people tell me. It ain't that serious. Listen, when you know what you want, okay, and then something comes against you that's trying to pull you in an opposite direction of where you're trying to go, if you don't take it serious, you got to realize the thing that's taking you out is taking you serious. Because if it won't trying to take you out, they would be saying like, your dreams are not important. Yeah. So I'm not even gonna mess with him. Like this is what my granddaddy used to say it like this: a dog don't bark at a parked car. If you ain't got nothing coming against you, more than likely you ain't going nowhere. See, you either growing or you either dying. It ain't no such thing as sitting in neutral. Because if you put a car in neutral, it might appear that it's sitting still, but there is some motion. And a lot of times it's that little seed of doubt, that little seed of insecurity that is birthed. And then if we don't immediately handle it, it grows and begins to take over what we're trying to do. So like John Maxwell wrote a book called Intentional Living. I would definitely recommend that book because everybody wants to do something that matters. And then everybody really honestly want to do it with people that matter. And then most importantly, at a time that matters. And there's no better time than right now. Right now. Right this second. So I'm so excited, man. I get fired up. Tia, do I need to calm down?
No, you're good. No.
Right. I was just testing her to see if she'd be like, it ain't that serious.
No, it's
that was
real
a little
serious.
trick. I know that's right. Because this is the thing, y'all. Every day that we live on this earth, honestly speaking, we're getting closer to our death.
Mhm.
And it's people that know they're gonna die, they tend to do more
Mhm.
than people that think they got forever to live.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people want to put off doing today what they can do tomorrow.
Yeah.
You got to realize tomorrow is not promised.
Right.
It's not a guarantee that we get a tomorrow. So we got to do all that we can today. We got to love harder. We got to grow deeper. We got to do more because we might not wake up tomorrow. I know somebody didn't want to hear that this morning, but you probably need to hear it. So investing in your life like it depends on it, because it does. And one of the best ways to invest in your life, we like to call it at the Alliance, we stepping into the light of day.
Mhm.
Duplicate, and we ain't talking about D.A.Y. We talking about D.A.E. So if you taking notes, I highly recommend write that down. D.A.E. The D stands for duplicate,
Mhm.
the A stands for associate, and the E stands for edify. We need people walking in the light of day, because if you walk in the light of day, you won't be in the dark.
Right.
Ain't nothing growing in the dark but mushrooms.
Come on, Tia.
I don't like mushrooms.
How's it?
I don't even like the way they look. Tia be trying to cook and say it's gonna taste like a barbecue rib. How the world a mushroom gonna taste like a rib?
Mhm.
It ain't got no meat on it.
It's the seasoning though.
Don't be trying to play no games on me, Tonton. Just try it.
Come on, Tia.
So this is the thing. Duplicating means copy. Okay. The highest form of flattery is to have somebody copy you. You may say, like, have you ever noticed like kids when they put on their parents' shoes, the shoes flopping all off their feet, they falling all down, put on them high heels, they walking all bow-legged and stuff like that?
Right.
It's the cutest thing ever, because you see a version of you
Mhm.
trying to be you.
Right.
Okay, so what we recommend is this right here. Lean not to your own understanding.
Mhm.
We got people. Andy Albright started this company over 20 years ago in the basement of his house. He drove thousands and thousands of miles all across the country before he flew in his own private jet. Driving his mama Lincoln Town car, baby. And you know that thing won't good on gas. Driving a Lincoln Town car just like driving a dadgum Ford Excursion or an H1 Hummer. I remember listening to Andy tell stories sometime. He said he would be going out on the road, going on a little swing. This is before he had a private jet. So right now, today, he can wake up in Florida, go out there to a meeting in Las Vegas, have lunch in Las Vegas, and be back time to cook James some beer can chicken in Florida by the end of the night. But it ain't always been like that.
Mhm.
When he was driving, he said he'll go on a little run. He'll leave the house, and James be like, I'm gonna be gone when you get back. You doing all this work and stuff. So stay here with me sometimes. Chill out. He said, baby, I got to go. He said, baby, I'm doing it for us. I hope you be here when I get back. But this is the thing. That's when you know you got vision.
Mhm.
Not that Jane was coming against him. It ain't that. But he knew that he had to go. And he drove thousands and thousands of miles because he had his mind on something.
Right.
The question this morning is, what do you have your mind on? Because what you have your mind on will grow.
Yeah.
If you got your mind on your problems, guess what's going to grow?
No problem.
Come on, help me out now.
It is.
And if you got your mind on your goals and your visions, what's going to grow? So one of the best things that I can do is get around other people. First of all, by associating, get around them, lean in,
Right.
but then start copying,
Mhm.
because you get to decide who you are.
That's right.
A lot of times we let other people tell us who we are. So we get to decide who we are. So guess what? If you don't like yourself, get around somebody that you like and copy them.
Mhm.
Okay? And because eventually what you're copying, you start taking on those same similarities, the same thought processes, the same work ethic, the same mindset.
Mhm.
Copying. Okay? Copying also takes the pressure off of you. When I first came to the Alliance, I was in a mess, y'all. I had just lost my job, making good money, good money, good benefits and everything, right? 3 children. She was pregnant with number 4, and life was going what we thought was good. And then I got an email that said, well, this new job you moved down here for, whatever confusion it is about it, this serves your termination notice. They sent it by email, didn't even tell me in my face. But when I talked to Jason Mathis, he said, we got a system in place that if you follow it, you gonna make 6 figures. I said, well, what kind of system is it? He said, that's our 8 steps to success. I was like, okay. I've been married now for 19 years. I can follow directions pretty good. So I say, this was my thinking. I said, look at here. I said, look at here. If I do what Jason Mathis tell me to do, and it don't work, at least I can blame him. But if I try to come up here in my own infinite wisdom, thinking that I know it all, thinking I'm all that in a bag of chips just because I used to be a banker. That's how Olga said, banker. I used to be a banker, right? And it don't work. Who am I gonna blame? See, when you copy, it takes all of the pressure off of you and put it on the system. Right. Take the pressure, like do yourself a favor. Like it trips me out when you're talking to people and they say, I didn't know that. Like, bruh, it's so much, the more that I learn, the dumber I feel. It's no way possible that you think in your own head and your own experiences that you know everything. So why put all that pressure on yourself when we say we got a system to follow? I double dog dare you to take my advice and say, listen, put pressure on the system and take it off yourself. Okay? And associate, lean in. Yeah. If you hang around 5 successful people, who do you think gonna be number 6? We are. If you hang around 5 bubbos, who you think gonna be number 6? Well, birds. My grandma used to say it this way: birds of a feather flock together. You know what I'm saying? So get around people who are having the results that you want to have and ask them a question. That's what we call being coachable, asking questions, not making statements. A lot of people make statements like, these leads don't work. Well, if these leads don't work, how in the Sam Dickens does Dr. Phil Aber lead the country this week in annuities and sales if the leads don't work? How is it that Megan Wood come up in here, turn the whole company upside down, sideways, shake everybody's nerves up? This girl, lady, y'all know what I'm trying to say, used to be a server at Applebee's, 2 for $20s. You go in there for a 2 for $20, you're gonna leave out with alcohol, you'll get your 2 for $20, she gonna sell you a dessert and a coffee to go. That's what she said, right? Brought that same philosophy over here, shook up our company. Let all of us know that there's a higher level that we can go to. Yeah. While some people was getting mad, I was getting glad. Because I said, well, let me tell you one thing. If she can do it, I done seen her. I done been in the same room with her. She mess up words just like I mess up words. If she can do it, I can do it too. So associate, get around, lean in, and then learn how to edify. Edify means nothing but to build up, to speak well of others. We live in a world right now where everybody is tearing everybody down. Now they done got the political messages coming to our dadgum cell phone. You turn off the TV, now they're hitting you on the cell phone. I just hit stop. I already know who I'm gonna vote for, and that ain't none of your business. But listen, edify. We live in a world where everybody wants to tear everybody down. Why not us? Paul Roberts says it this way: the United States of America needs the alliance. And I believe that. Because in the outside world, in the unwashed world, They fighting over politics, the stimulus checks, and all that stuff. Whereas at the Alliance, you know what we thinking about? Premium, helping families, helping our team. That's right. So edify, learn how to speak well of others. When people come around you, do they feel better that they were around you, or do they feel drained after they leave your presence? Come on, somebody. So I want to introduce y'all to one of my new friends. And this joker is copying. He associate more with me and Tia, and he live all the way on the other side of the country. We here in North Carolina, he live out in Oklahoma. I ain't never been to Oklahoma.
Not yet.
Not yet, but I'm going to see him.
Oh.
Him and his lovely wife, LaQuenta. That's right. But he's leaning in. He's copying. He knows how to edify. And he's going out slaying dragons week in and week out. He's an American hero too, y'all. Y'all gonna love my new friend. And
he's doing it part-time.
And yeah, he's doing it part-time, but that job does not qualify to take up that much of his time. It don't qualify. So listen, I want y'all, hey, Sebastian, unmute yourself. Let everybody know who you are, who you're hired by, and kind of what's been going on with you and LaQuenta. Give them a little background on y'all and kind of what you've been doing. You got out the gate coming fast. And most important, tell them what you're going to do.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Well, thank you, Terry and Tia, for giving me the opportunity to speak. Again, my name is Sebastian Chambers. My wife's name is LaQuenta. She's at work right now. We're billionaires. We have mansions and yachts. Still waiting on the billions and the mansions and yachts, but I'm believing that's how it's going to be. That's how I always introduce myself, because I want people to think that, you know, they hear that. Didn't he say he's a billionaire? You doggone right. I mean, all y'all speaking it now, right? But I mean, my wife and I, we come from humble beginnings. You know, when I was younger, my mom and dad, they divorced when I was about 7, so we struggled a lot. You know, coming up in the, you know, my wife, my mom had 3 kids, and we struggled. So I've been on the struggling side, and I've been on the side where I'm at right now. I think I hustled so hard because I remember those times when things were light. And man, I tell you, boy, let me tell you, if you ain't never had a sugar sandwich, then you ain't been broke. You know what I'm saying? But listen, let me. I don't want to go too deep. But I've been in sales for 30 years. I've done lots of things. I was in the military. I joined the military. I was in there for a little while, worked in the oil field, worked at car lots, sold vacuum cleaners. You name it, I've done it all. And I can go on and on and on and on and on. But one thing that I recognized about after meeting Terry and Tia through my manager, Rose Poole, Dr. Rose Poole, who reached out to me and introduced us this opportunity to us, I recognized that Tia and Terry, they're the full meal deal. You know what I'm saying? They got like the total package. I come from a background of, we used to call it Huron. Some people call it different things. And in our culture, and I'm not just talking about, when I say culture, I'm not talking about just Black. I'm talking about in the South. We Jones on each other. You know, we talking about how short your pants were if you had high waters. We were talking about if you had big ears or a big nose. I mean, we would go in on each other. I mean, hard. And it was the culture. But the person who could talk the worst about everybody else and make everybody laugh, that was the hero. And I found that as we got older, some of us haven't broke away from that. And what happens is, instead of working jobs, we're getting businesses, and we're trying to keep that same culture of really tearing each other down alive, but we struggle in business. Well, what I started finding was edification, it did just the opposite. It looked at a person and said, man, you know what? You might not have done all that stuff great, but let me tell you what you are doing great. Let me tell you the things that you do that keep me motivated. You know what keeps me motivated about Tia and Terry? They're married, okay? You cannot tell me they haven't had high volume conversations, but I would never know it, because every time I see them, they're smiling, they're laughing, they're spreading joy, they're instructing, they're giving you good guidance. And sometimes Terry's told me some hard things, but he did it with love. And I just had to kind of take it in. But that's how edification works. Edification, it takes the best parts And what we do is we highlight that and we let people know that keep doing those things. You don't always have to tell somebody what they're doing wrong. I've found that what you do is if somebody's doing something wrong and they come to you for advice about what they're doing wrong. Sorry about that. My phone rang and my computer and all that's connected. Somebody comes to you and you give them advice without them asking for the advice. I've always looked at that as pestering, because nobody wants you to tell them what they're doing wrong unless they ask. What you have to do is you have to ask permission. Terry asked me when we first met, I said, Terry, I want to build this business, man. I'm excited about it. He said, well, Sebastian, before we go any further, we need to do a little contract. He was like, do I have permission to talk to you like you need to be talked to? And I said, Terry, by all means, I see what you got going on. I want some of that. So yes, I give you permission. One thing that Terry hasn't done is he hasn't abused that though. Even though I gave him permission to say the things that need to be said, he always edifies. He does, we call it a crap sandwich. He put a little bit of sweet right here. He put the crap in the middle and he put some more sweet at the end. But he packages that together so that we start out on a positive note. We deal with some tough things, but then he leave it off with positive because, people remember the first and last thing mainly. The middle stuff, it's a little foggy, but you'll take the good stuff out of that and you'll apply what needs to be applied. And that's how true edification works. And then understanding the system. We have a system in place. These 8 steps that Terry keep talking about, as you read, you can take the table of contents and just pass out after you read the table of contents and it says what the 8 steps are. It blows your mind, because if you have a background where you had God as head of your household, man, all you see is the word when you see that, and it's just, you just keep going, and you just apply, and it puts it in practical application, a practical way to apply it into your life. Then we're talking about constant coaching. Me and Terry talk 2, 3, 4 times a day, and we don't just call to talk about. We've never talked about sports. We've never talked about what's going on in the political arena. We've never talked about none of that stuff, because you know why? It don't have nothing to do with our premiums. And what do I mean by that? A premium equals, I just helped a family secure their future. So when y'all hear us saying premium, it's not all about, premium means nothing if it didn't help a family. That's the only way it comes. So that when you hear that, it's almost like code for I helped another family. Then leaning in. Think about leaning in like a track star. When track stars, when they running and they get to the end, they do this right here. Why are they doing that? They're leaning in because it's giving them that extra little push so they can get to that finish line before the person that they're racing against. Now, here's the cool part. We're not in competition with each other. We're competing with the best version of ourselves from the day before. So every day you want to lean in a little bit more, to do a little bit more, to do a little bit better so that you can improve your lifestyle. And so that's what I think about when I think about all these things that we're doing and where we're going. See, my goal is this. Right now, I currently work for the government full time. I thank God for my job. But Terry said something that I just told somebody this morning. They don't deserve that much of my time. Right now, I have the potential in this company to earn a certain amount of money. I feel like working part-time, I could probably do 60 or 70,000. But guess what I feel like I could do if I didn't have that illness called JOB? I believe I can generate over 300,000 to 600,000 a year, because guess what it takes to earn it? I have to go out and help families. And if I got somebody tying up 8 hours in my day, that's about 8 families that I missed talking to that day. And so that's where I'm at. That's where my mind is. I'm going to a place where I'm not just going to get free and earn over 300,000 a year. I'm going to help 10 other families do the same thing. And I'm going to help them help 10 other families. And what we're going to do is we're going to change the way people are looking at life by adding to them. Instead of telling people how they should think, let's just show them a way that they can produce something that's going to bless their families generation after generation and give them something called legacy instead of passing on debt. So that's Terry, thank you for giving me an opportunity.
Hey, Sebastian.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sitting here blown away. I'm like, boy, that boy good. He talking some good stuff. Now, did you know there are a lot of people that's good talkers, and then they don't go out and do. They just talk, post on social media, Instagram,
Right.
Snappy Chappy. What do you call it?
Snapchat.
Yeah,
I call
Snapchat.
it Snap Champ.
Yeah, they do all that craziness, right?
Right.
Portray everybody is a relationship coach, financial coach, all that stuff on social media, right? But they don't do.
Yeah.
The thing I like about you, Sebastian, is you don't only talk the talk, but you walk and walk. Tell the people, give them some numbers, Bo. How much money you done made? Issue paid premium. Last week you was in the top 20 issue paid last week in the country, and you just got started about 3 weeks ago. What type of income you got an insurance with another company, you ain't make no money there or whatever. But tell them, give them some meat.
Well, I'll tell you, I was involved in a couple of one other company. Well, actually 3 other companies before I came and joined with the Alliance Group. And the thing about it was, when you joined, it was no coaching. They didn't get involved. For them, it was just like numbers. And they would say, all right, here, this is what we want you to do. Buy these leads, do this, and you should be okay. And it was nothing that helped. So my first few years, I probably wrote about 10 policies within my first 2 or 3 years, if that many, probably 5 or 6, really. Then I got introduced to Medicare, and Medicare kind of opened my eyes to what insurance could be. My first season, with very little coaching, very little, I earned about $15,000 by helping over 30 families with that. With this company, in the last 3 weeks, I've done over 10,000 in premiums. And I haven't been paid on everything, but I've already put over $4,500 in my pocket. And that's part-time. I'm not even able to do what everybody else is doing. The thing that got me excited about it was I spend so much time talking with Terry and getting guidance. What he does is he points me in the right direction. And by pointing me in the right direction, I'm able to get more done in a little time. And so it gets me excited about the opportunity. So if anybody's saying, I'm a disabled vet, I work for the government full time, I got 2 kids in college, and both of them used to play sports. I'm traveling all over the place. So I'm just as busy as they come. You name it, I do it. Just finished selling my father-in-law's house. He had a stroke. We've been taking care of him. I mean, come on, we got a lot of stuff going on. We got excuses. I can give you some excuses, but I'm gonna tell you right now, those excuses don't pay the bills. When the lights, when the guy's standing outside getting ready to hit the switch, he wants money. He don't want an excuse. So we got to get busy. So we got somewhere we're going, and we're gonna get there. And Terry and Tia, I just thank you guys so much for being who y'all are. Sometimes it brings tears to my eyes just to think that y'all willing to pour yourself out the way y'all do, and constantly, always there when we need you. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Sebastian.
That's right. We was putting them in last night, 11 o'clock. That's right. So, hey, listen, the next thing that we got to invest in is, to me, after you invest in yourself, you got to, like, if you read 8 Steps of Success, it says, if you see a turtle sitting on a a fence post, you know one thing for sure, that turtle did not get there by itself.
Right.
If you going somewhere, you got to have people around you. You know what I'm saying? This whole pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. My boots ain't even had no straps on them. Give me your boots. Your boots got some straps on it. There's a book by Henry Cloud, Dr. Henry Cloud, called The Power of the Other. I definitely recommend reading that book, man. It's crazy. It talks about how we were wired for relationships and to be connected with other people. You know, so the next thing that we got to invest in is relationships, man. Because if you have a big dream, if you have a God-sized idea, you can't do it under your own strength. If you want to be a grinder and run 40 appointments a week and run 50 and 60 appointments a week, you can't do that on your own strength. You got to have some supernatural intervention, but also you got to have some other people who are telling you that when you're weak, they are strong. When you're ready to say I'm tired, they can say there's another gear in there. Does that make sense? So it's like building relationships is one of the things that, that I think Tia is a blessing, definitely to me and our team, because she's really, really great at building relationships and connecting with people. Not to say I can be just straight business, but sometimes, like Sebastian said, you got to give them the sweet. Tia is that sweet. She's so sweet.
I don't know about that.
She's so sweet. Every time I lay down beside her, I need a shot of insulin. She's so sweet. The dentist told me the other day, said, Terry, you're gonna have to chill out with Tia. She giving you cavities. So you can't be kissing on her like that. I said, well, doctor, I can't help myself. Then she started losing all this weight and stuff. I said, woo, boy, you is sure looking good. I said, 19 years can't hold me. I better get on my grind. So I get up. I got up this morning. I wake the alarm clock up at 5 o'clock. I was in the gym at 5 o'clock doing some up downs and shoulder presses and everything, trying to get rid of this canopy called a belly. But I'm gonna get rid of it one day at a time. I can't lose it all at one time. I got to shed it slowly. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But Tia, thank you so much for what you do in building relationships with the team and all that good stuff. What you got to say?
Yeah, because you got to let people know, okay, hey y'all, but this is how I look at it. You have to let your agents and your staff know that they matter. Because I look at people, I treat people the way that I want to be treated. So if I treat someone nasty, I'm going to get that same thing back in return. And then it's also competitive relationships. Mm-hmm. I think we need that competitive relationship. Yes, Sebastian, I agree. We can only compete with ourselves, but it's good to also have a good friend like an Andy Riddle that you can also compete with. You can call them and text them, and you can talk junk to them, and you can pull out that can of whoop butt on them. You know what I'm saying? They may be number one right now. They may be number one right now. This is why having those competitive relationships are so important. They may be number one right now, but what you can do is get on the phone, talk junk to them, but also find out what are they doing that we're not doing. Mm-hmm. How many people are we talking? How many people are they talking to that we're not talking to? So it's like we can grow and learn from one another. That keeps that motivation going. That keeps us focused on something bigger than just ourselves. So right. I do love building relationships, going back to our agents and stuff. I do love building relationships with our agents, finding out about their family, not just saying, hey, I want you to come work for us or come work with the Alliance, but it's more about their family. What is it that they have going on? What are their goals? What are they trying to achieve? So that Terry and I, when Terry's coaching them, he'll know what they're trying to get to. Like we know Megan is trying to get off her job. We know how much it's going to take for her to walk away from her job. Her husband wants to get off his job one day to help her. So we know what he's needing to get it there. That's how we do the relationship.
Yeah, and the other thing about relationships is this right here. The way to devalue a relationship is to base the new relationship off of old experiences. Mm-hmm. See, if you carry the bricks from a past relationship into a new one, you're going to end up building the same dadgum house.
Right.
And it's like not just building relationships, but building them fast.
Right.
So I want to introduce you to somebody who we built a fast relationship. I mean, like over the last 5 days.
Yeah.
And today is Megan's, she got her first direct deposit from the Alliance, baby. I am so proud of her. So Megan Hayes, if you don't mind, unmute yourself. You've been leaning in since day one, but if you don't mind, just introduce yourself. Tell everybody how you connected to us and how were you able to hit the ground running so fast, making dials, booking appointments, and already issue paying business in less than 5 days.
That's right.
Hey, everybody, I'm Megan. So I got a phone call from Tia one day and she left me a message. And so I was like, well, let me give her a call back and see what she's talking about. When I actually got on the phone with her, she just made me feel very comfortable. She was so nice. She had so much knowledge about the insurance and everything, and it felt very authentic. So we set up a meeting to come to the office and talk to her and Terry. And when I arrived to the office, I thought to myself, I didn't even know this place was back here. You know, I live in Kernersville and I never knew that it was back there. So, you know, I go into the office and everything. It's beautiful. It's so nice. I can tell that you guys have put so much hard work into it. And we sat down and we talked about everything. And, you know, I felt comfortable with you guys. It was just so great. You know, you guys asked me about my family and got to know me and everything. And, you know, the company that I was with before, because I was signed with someone before, I didn't have a connection with anybody. You know, I was contracted with them in May and got my license in July. And I felt like I was not getting anywhere. I've been with you guys since August 5th, and I've already written 4 contracts, got issue paid today, and I've got appointments set for this afternoon and this weekend. And so, I mean, you guys are great. It's been great.
Hey, Megan, tell everybody what your background is, because you're not full-time with us yet. So what do you do?
So currently I am a full-time dental lab technician. I make dentures and partials and stuff like that. Yep. I can give you a pretty smile. Yeah, so that, you know, it's a corporate job, and, you know, it's strict, and I need something. I have 2 kids also. So I want something that gives me the freedom of spending time with them and, you know, making money too. So.
And what I appreciate about Megan is that after she get off work, y'all, she'll come up in the office. She don't go home to make her dials. She stop here first, make sure the kids are straight, and stop here and start making her dials for the next day.
That's right. And we're intentional too. We make it easy. We had the leads already printed out. Only thing she got to do is sit down and dial.
That's right.
We done took all the thinking out of it.
Yep, you sure did. Thank y'all so much.
All right, good deal, girl. We're so happy for you. We can't wait until you are able to fire your boss and do all those things.
I'm ready.
That's right. And now we're going to talk about more do, because this is the activity call.
Yeah.
So you not only got to invest in your life and yourself, you got to invest in relationships. If you want to build a massive business and you want to connect with people good, a great book on how to build relationships is Friendship Factor. The Friendship Factor. This one right here, that book right there, that book is crazy good. And also John Maxwell, How Everybody Communicates. And the last thing too, I want to talk about in relationships before we bring Mia on, because Mia about to blow this thing up like Mount Fuji.
You know she is.
Anytime you get in a relationship, everybody is going to have the opportunity to be offended. Okay? Because this is what I know. People get offended really, really quickly. And there's a book that talk about The Bait of Satan by John Bevere. It's really good because offense, he says, offense cuts you off from God. We separate ourselves from the pipeline. I've never seen anything block blessings from heaven except offense. Offense is all about, offense is when somebody offends you. They may not have meant to do it. They hurt your feelings. Got you? Now, have I been offended while in the alliance? Absolutely. But what I'll do is pretty quickly, I'll get some coaching on how to handle it. Look, this is what I felt like. Is this what that meant? And most times when you sit down and you discover and you talk things out, you really get to the bottom of the situation and the person really meant no harm. And the other thing about being offended is it's a choice that we make. It is not a condition inflicted or imposed upon us. We get to decide what we get offended about. I get offended about stuff that ain't making me no money. I get offended about stuff that's keeping me from my goals. But I don't get offended about if somebody think I'm too black or I'm ugly. I don't care nothing about that. I don't care if people think that I'm too fat. Only person I kind of care that if I'm too fat is this one right here. You know what I'm saying? But everybody else, I don't care. Call me what you want. But one thing you won't call me is broke. Okay. Joker. I'll tell you that. Right. But listen, let's not be easily offended. Because as we're getting to know each other, let's extend each other grace. Does that make sense? Like a lot of times, I saw somebody say this right here. When you're offended, it opens up the opportunity for you to look inward. A lot of times we think people trying to hurt us. I'd be like, they didn't do nothing to me. They did something for me. That's the difference between being a victim and a victor. They didn't do it to hurt me. They did it to help me. They did it to show me that I could take a licking and keep on ticking. That's right. So let's not be easily offended. Let's move on. Let's talk about investing in your business so that we can get that bank account on swole. This girl bank account is on swole. I called her the other morning about 7 o'clock. Notice I ain't said 9. Most of y'all start working at 9. I wake the alarm clock up at 4. That going right. I be calling me about 6:30, 7 o'clock on my way to the office. Hey girl, you up? You done brushed your teeth? You done slayed your hair? You done got your lippy glossy on? Let's go. That's right. I said, hey Mia, how your cash flow looking? She said, man, we making money hand over fist. I said, that's what I wanted to hear right there. But this is the thing. You can't have a massive bank account or MBA with a GED lead investment. You can't have an MBA with a GED lead investment. A GED lead investment ain't. Now, if you got a GED, don't be offended. Some people ain't even got
Don't
that.
get offended.
I didn't mean it like that. What I was trying to say is you can't poop like an elephant and eat like an ant. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't make a lot of money without put just a little bit in. So me and Mia was talking. We talking about where we want to go. Where my coin at, Tia?
Right here.
Right here. We talking about this right here. What do we want and how do we get it, baby? And we made up in our mind that we're gonna step up our lead investment. So I'm gonna unmute Mia because this girl's a firecracker right here. Kicking butt, taking names, super PAC producer, baby.
Woo!
Qualified, authorized, and deputized. We took a picture. We know how she looked because she done got her picture took. We done got her picture up in the office. We got a super PAC wall in our office. She is up there posing like this. That's right. That's my girl right there. Hey, Mia, talk to people, man. Let them know. What are we doing? How are we investing in our business? How we're creating cash flow? How are we helping America's economy by giving people jobs? Giving people what they came for, girl. I'm gonna turn you loose.
Oh my God, my stomach hurts so bad laughing. Can y'all imagine listening to that at 6:30 in the morning? Literally, he's like that all the time. I'm not lying. But hey, America, hey, Alliance family. My name is Mia Fennell, like Terry and Tia said. Number one, I'm grateful that they even asked me to be on this call. That's my big brother and my big sister. We've been knowing each other for like 8 years or something, and they have just been always been the same people, always been great people to lean on, great people to partner with. And I'm just really glad they told me about this journey. So just a little bit background. So my parents, where I came from, I didn't really come from like the, it wasn't a hard life growing up. My mom and dad, they worked intentionally to give me and my sister a pretty decent life. So they always told me from the time I was little, be better than we were. So when Andy talks about standing on the shoulders of your parents and putting your kids on your shoulders, that's what I think my parents did for me and my sister. They exposed us to a lot very young. They gave us a lot of freedom. We traveled, we saw things, we went to college, and they just gave us those opportunities. So now it's my job to make sure that I'm giving my kids, when they're born, an even better lifestyle than I had. So I'm grateful for the Alliance. I'm grateful to even be here. When Terry talks about investing, when I came to the Alliance, I didn't have any money to invest. I had just gotten laid off from my job. I was working as an analyst at Bank of America, and I was also newly separated. So I came into this broke. I was broken. I was broke. I didn't have any money, but more so I was heartbroken because I thought I had worked all the way up through, my life. I had this great career. I had saved all this money. I had done things. But then I was back at ground zero. So when I came here, I didn't have money to be able to throw into my business. But what I did have was a strong desire. So Terry and Tia told me, hey, talk to people that you know, people that don't have insurance, and just start your business that way. So I literally remember going to my mom, running some practice appointments on my 2 aunts and their friend and myself. None of us had insurance. And I wrote policies on all 5 of us, and I made $2,300. Now, some people would get so excited, and they're like, oh my gosh, I made $2,300. For me, I had to immediately put that money into bills so I could keep my apartment And also I had to take some of that money and put it back into my lead investment. So I started in April of 2018. I started learning about investing early. Terry and Tia were never shy about saying, hey, if you want to poop like an elephant, you need to invest like one, instead of, being one of those people that put little in and expect a lot out. So I knew about investing. I just needed to make the income to do it. So every single month I decided, I needed to put more money back into my business, put more money back into it. And I knew that it was going to take me about 2 years to get things really off the ground. And that's exactly what happened. My first thing when I started investing with $100 a week. That's all I had. So that's what I started with. Then it went up to $250 a week. And then it ended up bumping up to $400 a week. And now I invest about a little over $1,000 a week into my business when it comes to leads. And the thing is, I've watched my income significantly go up. I mean, I remember days where I would call Terry and Tia like, yo, I ain't making no money. Like, we'd be on the phone crying, and it was just so funny. When I think back about it now, the person that I had to become to get to the point where I can say I invest, anywhere between $4,000 to $7,000 a month in my business. I have staff, I have an office, but I'm in this motion now of being a business owner. For me, it does not matter how much money goes out when it comes to my business, because I know that the income and the investment is always going to pay off. I'm always, me and Terry and Tia, the type of conversations we have now is about ROI. We're always thinking, what are we going to get back? What are we going to make off this? Our time, the money that we're putting in, how is it going to return back to us? And that's all I focus on. And if it's not making me money, if it's not something that's going to get me in a place where I'm thinking about getting better, where I'm thinking about helping families, where I'm thinking about increasing my investment, I don't want to deal with it. I'm a lot like Sebastian, what he said. I don't know what's going on out in the world every day. I don't watch the news and stuff. And don't get me wrong, there's people that watch the news, and I always tell people, look, if it's bad enough, somebody will tell me. Like, we had an earthquake a couple weeks ago in Charlotte. I didn't even know it was an earthquake. I thought somebody closed their door real hard downstairs. But it was an earthquake. And I found out because my mom and dad called me and said, hey, Mia, did y'all feel that earthquake? Boom. I knew it was an earthquake. If it's bad enough, I will find out. But until then, I need to be focused on what is going to get me to where I want to go. I know that I have to create a multi-million-dollar business, so I can't do things that they're not going to be able to put me in line to generate that type of income. So yes, when Terry and Tia make suggestions to me, I trust them enough to believe that it's always going to pan out. Terry was sitting at the agency manager meeting. He talked about this. He said, where are you trying to go in your business? I said, I need to do $50,000 a month issue paid. And he said, okay, what type of investment you have to make? I said, I know I need to do $1,250 a week in investment. And before he left the agency managers meeting, in the same hour, I text Ashlyn in the leads department and said, hey, I need to increase my lead investment. So it's one of those things where trust in this system, trust in the alliance, trust in our leadership, trust in Andy and Jane. Just being around people that can see bigger than me, I'm just chasing all day. I'm just chasing, trying to get better, chasing, trying to be like these leaders. And really, the competitive spirit in me, I love to compete. I look at the leaderboards. I'm trying to figure out who I need to knock out next. Okay, I think last year I ended at probably around number 74. And now I'm number 17 in the company. And that's on purpose. Okay, it's on
intentional,
purpose.
Baby.
Yes, it's on purpose that I've already made 6 figures when I had never made 6 figures in a calendar year before. That's on purpose, but it's all because I trust these people. So thank you, Terry and Tia, just for having me on. I love you guys, and I just appreciate this opportunity. Really do.
Mia, we love you too. We are so fired up about your girl. You are so focused. We ain't never seen you this focused, and we love it.
Hey, look, it's
Focus,
crazy.
girl.
Every Wednesday morning, Wednesdays is the day that she called me. Because that's when the leaderboards come out. The other days I'm calling her, right? Wednesday she called me, hey, you see where your girl at? You see where I'm at? What do you think about that? Every Wednesday, I love it. Hey, listen. Edwards Agency Group, the Alliance Nation. Listen, I'm serving notice right now. Paul Roberts, I love you, baby. Thank you for the inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Adam Katz, I love you too. Micah Noel, I love it. Ed Soto, you are growing like crazy. But don't get it twisted, baby. TNT, Andy Riddle,
He already knows.
You already know.
He already knows.
You already know.
He knows.
Right now, this is a generic can. I'm gonna get me a real can. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between Shasta and the real Coca-Cola. This is Shasta, but I'm gonna get the real Coca. But listen, guys, Alliance Nation, man, we have an opportunity before us that is unprecedented. The worst thing that we can do right now is to treat this opportunity like it was the opportunity that we knew last week. Let's go into this week with a new sense of energy, a new sense of fervor, a new sense of urgency.
Yes.
The worst thing that you can do is go into a new relationship bringing in old baggage. Last week is gone. This week is ahead of us, baby. Let's go out and let's kick some butt, baby.
That's right.
Good afternoon, y'all. I love you. I got to get on the telehoppy right now.
Bye, y'all. Thank you, Andy and Jane.